I'm sending my stream out now.
Okay.
Intro. Welcome this morning, people, to another edition of Real Talk TV. Real Talk TV seen on AOC Community Media. Please support community-based media. This is the future. This is the way to go. This is where you get your truths and your facts. We have none other than the great Sister Salita McCall. Sister Salita McCall is an all-around community activist and in the know sister. I'll let her fill you in on her credentials. Very versed in a lot of information, especially the things that's going on in the state of Louisiana. Sister Salita McCall will be our special guest today. We had a couple of technical issues to come on the air, but we want you to know we will fix them because we are on-air engineers also, if we want to steal that title. Welcome, Sister Salita McCall.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for this opportunity, Brother Jay. Real Talk, he's been doing this for a while, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity, for the information. Believe it or not, a lot of people from here listen to you, and I get great positive feedback from the people who listen to you on your shows, on this one and on your radio show. Awesome reviews on what you guys are doing. And the idea that you guys are based in Lafayette, and for you guys to be able to get all this information out is so wonderful. If you guys are not familiar with me, I am a loudmouth. I'm just letting you know.
Yes.
I definitely am part of the community. I have been able to influence a lot of people with the changing of their mind, with the information that we give on our show. We do a show that comes on Facebook, and we also have streaming platforms that we're on also that we talk about. It's called the Kim Be Frank Show. And we talk about the same issues, but we talk about it on a local level. Sometimes we talk national because we have so many issues in the central Louisiana area that we definitely discuss. And we're able to influence and convince and to allow people to rethink what they're going through. And as a Black people, when all your life you've been downtrodden and people have always put obstacles in your way, it's hard to change that mindset. We call it the slave mentality, but it's just the mindset needs to be changed. And so I have dedicated, when it comes to radio, I've dedicated close to 20 years in doing just that, trying to change mindsets. But yes, thank you for allowing me to be here. This is a wonderful opportunity, as I said before. Thank AOC for this also.
Yeah, and you have a show. We give our plugs early on from people's stage and people mindset. You have a show on AOC also that deals with some slightly different subject matter. You want to tell us about it right quick?
Oh, yes. I have a show called the Empower Her Talk Show. And we discuss a lot of different topics. We've had people come on. We've had guests that come on, and we talk about books. We talk about a lot of things that deal with just trying to deal with life. We have lessons. We have different types of information that we love giving out. I'm an information person, always have been, and has always been something I've always done. So the Empower Her talk show comes on Thursdays at 7 p.m. on AOC. And I always look forward to doing the show, and I always look forward to the information that I share. As you know, this is National Women's History Month. So I have been doing shows about some of our African American female trailblazers. Very interesting information, because in the process of me showing those or going over some of the information that I share, I'm learning in the process, because a lot of things I just did not know or I have forgotten. But it actually stoked the fire in me. I did this story on Shirley Chisholm, Congresswoman Shirley Chisholm. I did the story, Fannie Lou Hamer was the one I did last week. And it just stoked the fire in me to say that I'm so proud to be a woman. I'm so proud to be a Black woman that has that same mindset as these people, as these women had. So yeah, very much so into that. So I think this will be the last show we'll be doing, talking about Women's History Month. And I'm very much looking forward this Thursday. Yes.
Well, sister, as you know, the reason I really want to get with you on this show subject, and coming off this past election cycle, this past Saturday, where the voters of Louisiana overwhelmingly rejected white supremacist Jeff Landry, and that's the way I speak. I speak in terms of what they are. All this nicety that we are playing, speaking when they speak in terms of us, we can't speak in terms of them. Jeff Landry, white supremacy, and his white supremacy enablers, meaning the state legislative people like local Representative Blake Miguez and others, pushing that agenda, that constitutional agenda, and others in this state. And I say I want to get with you and talk about something else when he made his trip way back from Washington, D.C. to stop in Pineville, Alexandria area to at least announce or celebrate, look like a celebration with these white supremacists, that they're going to invest $39 million in a existing juvenile facility. I want you to tell us more about that and what the people, because these shows, like what you do and what others do, we inform the people. We don't fluff up the news. We don't make asinine, crazy, corrupt, racist things the mainstream news. We don't normalize it. We want to let people know what's coming down the pike. Tell us more about it.
Okay, the Renaissance Home has been, I think, got established back in 1979. It's either 79. I think it got established, and so it's been thriving ever since. And what they're trying to do now is to add on to it. Anytime that you see anybody who's trying to add on to a facility that that probably needs some looking at, I'll say it to you like that. Is it really being effective? Is it really doing what it's supposed to do? And why are we continuing? See, if something really works, and if you guys know anything about rehabilitation, when a rehabilitation takes place, that means something is rehabbing. It's getting better. It's going through a process. It's doing all the steps it needs to do in order for things to not having to see a turnaround, you coming back into the system or into that situation that you've been in when you're being rehabbed. If this is a rehabilitation for our youth, then why are we adding on? Why are we putting more into it? Why? So are these kids really rehabbed? Are they really coming out and being productive citizens that are not getting into trouble anymore? Or is this just a way to build more prisons for us? Guys, keep in mind, Central Louisiana's Renaissance Center is it's the first one. They're talking about either, I think, 7 or 9 of these being built around the state. Okay, so keep that in mind. So if I can change the laws to keep our kids locked up, we start them in elementary school, we start them in preschool, we watch them and we study them because they're good at studying us. and prepare them, because they said by the third grade, they already know if you have a child that's having issues in the third grade, behavior issues, that gives them a right in their minds to start building beds, adding beds on, because they already know you're going through the system. They already know you're going to have some juvenile issues. They already know these things are going to happen, because that's how they study us. And because they don't think highly of us, and that our kids can be successful, that our kids might not really have a behavioral problem. But the system is so set up to make sure that that happens, then here we go building. We're building more prisons. We're building, because it's money in prisons. See, we don't want to talk about that part. It's financial gain for private companies and corporations to make money off of us. Now, keep in mind, convict leasing goes along with children too, okay? From what we found out from our Renaissance Center, a lot of the kids are not even our kids. They're from other parts of the state. So in a sense, you can say that's convict leasing, because why would those kids be in our area if they have a facility closer to them? And they do the same thing with inmates. So I say that to say this. We as parents have to start paying attention to our children. We have to start leading them from first, second, third grade and watch their behaviors. We have to be in control of that, because once your child is in that system, I promise you, when they get older and become adults, even though they say juvenile records are closed, that's not true anymore. If I'm not mistaken, you can look at juvenile records now. So if they can do that, that doesn't take much for them to already put something, your child's already in the system, in other words. So we as parents have to be more responsible when it comes to that. We have to be more responsible about their behaviors. Okay, we have to make sure we're getting them the proper help that is needed, so they don't have to go to Renaissance or any other facility built for our children, because these are built for our children. You guys remember the 4 children that wound up down at Angola? I think that was a testing to see if our kids could survive that, so that they can build more prisons. And Jeff Landry in the Project 2025 is on point with that. Now, they got defeated because everybody came out and voted, which we definitely encouraged everybody to vote no on all 4, which we did too. And once you get that out there like that, it showed. I am just like so proud of Louisianians right now. I am so proud of y'all, because y'all got to remember now, you guys, I'm talking all country. You guys have to remember, it's not only us who was voting, even though we had a large turnout in early voting across the state. Now here we didn't, but across the state, we did very good with the turnout, with early voting turnouts. So that shows we're not putting up with this. And Landry can keep doing whatever he's doing. We're going to continue to come back. And it's amazing that Louisiana, being a Republican state, actually was able to come out, because it wasn't just us who was voting. It wasn't just Democrats and independents. Republicans were also voting against this, because I think there's some buyer remorse going on, but I'll leave that alone. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, great information. Our sister Salita McCall here on Real Talk TV. The number to call in to talk to Sister Salita is area code 337-272-8849, 337-272-8849. Well, sister, you gave a lot there, and the thing is this. When we said we want to be proud of Louisiana, I'm more of a pessimist, because we should have been doing those things long time ago. We have the numbers as far as the electorate, whether we and people want to just like lay down and play dead. We're in a red state. Now, I get that. Brother Jay, we got a super majority. What you want us to do in the state legislative house? We want you to stand up like Al Green. I'm I'm not necessarily a great fan of Al Green for his legislation pushed in the past, but he's a little bit more progressive in his way of trying to help people, really help people. We need people to stand up or to talk back, even if it's talk back. Talk back, a slave who was talking back in the day probably got shot and killed, but a slave that's keep on talking no matter what is a brave soul. And Jasmine Crockett, we need the Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus who pride themselves on being black. Don't call it a black caucus if you're not going to be for black folks. You know, why call it a black caucus? Why call it a black district, a redistricting situation where you're saying you need to have that seat because we got to represent minorities? When you get up in Baton Rouge, the lobbyists just totally change your mind, or the white supremacists just totally change your mind. So I'm saying we need to stand. We should have been doing what we did this past Saturday, sister.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I'm looking at the headlines of him giving them $39 million, but what you guys don't understand, we just passed. We don't know how they passed this tax, but prior to this, they passed a $82 million, I think it's $82 or $86 million millage prior to this. So actually, they've gotten over $100 million to do this project. They just passed a millage locally in our area for them to build this new facility. And again, if we're rehabbing these children, what do you need a new facility for? What do you need a new facility for? And then it's not even going to be serving our children. It's going to be serving kids all over the whole state. So we're taking our money and we're spending it, our tax money, into a facility that's not even going to facilitate our kids. You know, like I said, and once they get the rest of these built, because like I said, if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be either 7 to 9 of these facilities. You're going to see convict leasing. You're going to see it in its full form when it comes to our juveniles.
Sister, I think we have a caller. You want to take this call? Caller?
Oh.
Yes, sir. How y'all doing?
We're doing great.
Good morning.
I'd like to thank the good white folk that came out and voted. Yeah, I'd like to thank the good white folk, but I don't think we really came out in numbers like they say we did. What they're doing is, if they tried to bump the age down to where our young kids could go to jail, who are they really building the juvenile home for then? Are they building the juvenile home for the 10 or the 8-year-olds on up?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because they're trying to drop the age, you know, to put our kids in jail. Yeah. So if they're dropping the age to put them in jail, who are they building the juvenile home for? You know, because we don't know what age they were going to drop the limit to go to the jailhouse. So what if a kid gets in the school? Does he go to the juvenile home at 7 or 8 years old?
And Paul, a lot of these facilities, and I pride myself on knowing who is where and what is where and everything in between. I never heard of that jail. I heard of the one, you know, they do these things in secret, and all of a sudden they hit the headlines. For the average person, let's say the average person, who people are not activists or keep up in the know. But this jail, how long has it been in existence? From your standpoint?
I think it's been since 1979. I think it's been in existence since 1979.
They're building so many jails in the state of Louisiana.
Yeah.
That's the plan. We are, you know, if you build a jail, you get free slavery. You remember one of the police, one of the sheriffs said, "Why you gonna let them go? They do so much good work for us." So it's a form of slavery. Next, they have a picket cotton if you don't watch out.
Yeah. It's like you put out one fire and another fire brews up. Because if you guys remember the situation in my home area of St. Martinville, Louisiana, that made front headlines where these children were being warehoused and abused. and so much trouble, fights, and all kind of different turmoil going on at this jail, this facility, right in my own backyard. And all of a sudden, it's been and I say realize how long it's been in existence. And that came like a shock to me. We knew they were taking juveniles to certain facilities, but all of a sudden these facilities hit the headlines, and to see Renaissance, and then you see Renaissance. Then you see, and the name Renaissance, and then you see $39 million, and then you see Jeff Landry, and you put that all together, it's not good. It's not good.
Exactly. Actually, you know what? The Renaissance was organized as a nonprofit in 1972. I said 79, but it's actually 72. So it's actually been in its inception for a long time.
Yeah, and Mr. Leroy,
yes,
what a lot of people don't know is, hold on.
Yes, go ahead.
Well, a lot of people don't understand. They think it's $39 million. It's not $39 million.
Right.
It's more, almost $125 million.
Yep.
Because they had to get a tax renewal passed for the Renaissance in order to get the $39 million.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So that's $125 million for juveniles to be locked up in.
Right. Right. Exactly. Well, caller, I want to thank you so much. Anything else you want to add concerning the jails and to inform our people? Because I appreciate you calling from your area and you stay in the know, and we need more people to keep informing our people in order to transform us, even if we got the administration of white supremacy all over the damn place.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, we just got to keep on pushing, and we can't give up. I'm inspired by that lady that you're talking to. I'm inspired by her to do this kind of stuff that we do.
No, you do a very good job on your own. He's a powerful young man, and that's what I love about Nat. Nat is a very powerful young man, and people listen. and that's the good part, is that people listen and they hear. And look, let me tell you something. We take a lot of criticism, but you know what? That just makes us stronger. And that also sends a message that what we're saying is getting under someone's crawl.
Yeah. So we just got to keep pushing, and we got to understand that the jailhouse is not the alternative,
for our children.
The best alternative. If we should spend, if you got a car, you got to do preventative maintenance for that car break down. So we need to have a preventative maintenance for the kids before they get to the juvenile home.
That's right.
You see, so. Well, y'all have a good day. I'm finna get back and listen.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for
Bye-bye.
calling. Yes, and for all those who calling in, our lines are lit up. Call back, and I'm sorry about that. Like always, I got to hire me a director. I got to hire me a producer, and I'm a one-man wrecking crew behind the scene. You just don't know. It's almost a controlled crash to get this show on the air. But we want to thank AOC Community Media. And please, tomorrow, tune into the Open Line Radio Show on 88.3 FM. We got some great news. We'll soon be coming back to terrestrial on air, also on 88.3. Sister Salita, and that's some good news as far as reaching the people who listen to terrestrial radio. But again, we under what we call a police state in the state of Louisiana.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Here's the problem. Look, I mean, if you see this graphic about Landry, how he's going to be working with ICE agents, and I've been saying we are on a slow walk towards what the Nazis did. Mm-hmm. If you look at the history and you study Project 2025, it's a playbook from the Nazis. And back then it was the Jews, but I think it's going to be us this time. I mean, it's been us, but it's going to be us in our face, us. And those who don't want to pay attention, that's up to them. Having all these, not only the juvenile jails, which you are talking about, the federal detention centers in the state of Louisiana, where you see a young Palestinian student who's here legally, and much more legal than a whole lot of other people, some regular U.S. citizens. Studying for a PhD, did an op-ed in one of the prominent newspapers, and after that she was detained by these people. Not detained, kidnapped, put handcuffs on, stopped in the street, and taken away to one of the detention centers. They was going to send her to that concentration camp in El Salvador, where they could probably kill her or beat her, but they had to, because people noticed this, they had to send her to the one in Louisiana. What's the difference between the one in El Salvador and the ones in Louisiana, in Basile, or what's this other little place, Gina, and a whole bunch of places? How can the Black Caucus not stand up? Cleo Fields, you just got elected, the brother from New Orleans. Why you can't stand up and call a press conference and gather our black folks? Because when they come for these people, they're going to be coming for us. It's not out of the realm. A lot of things we didn't say it on these shows has came through. And if people, you want to stick your head in the sand, and worry about the next Zydeco dance or something else, that's up to you. But these jail systems, Salita, that's troubling to have it in the state of Louisiana, which Jeff Landry and Donald Trump and cohorts are making contracts with the GEO company, the biggest private jail institution in the country. They're making deals with these companies to open up all types of jails. So they're going to have jobs for you. They're either going to have a job guarding the people, or you going to be the people in the jail. Exactly.
And you know what? That's so on point. Now you just said something that just went through my head. Now, in other countries they have dictators or authoritarian type regimes. Remember this, that what do they do with the people who talk against what they're doing? Don't they grab them off the streets, or they come to their homes and take them out or do something with them? Yes. Do you notice when you said that, that's what I visualized, that you're taking people off the streets and you're putting them in these or they even kill them. Over in other countries, they actually kill them.
We have a call on the line, sister. We could take this call. Carl, welcome to Real Talk TV.
Yes, sir. How you doing, Brother Jay?
Good morning.
How you doing, my sister?
Good morning.
Good morning. This is Brown. I was so pleased to see black people come out. We had a heavy turnout of voters in New Orleans. They were looking for us in the city, the blacks in the city, not to show up. And we showed out, and we tipped that scale. It was the voters in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and Shreveport area, and parts of Lafayette that turned out for one simple reason, and that was to keep those kids out of adult prisons. We know that their game was to enslave our black youth and put them on the plantation and use them as modern day slaves.
That's right.
We know this. Not only here, but in Florida, they're trying to get a bill passed that will send juveniles who commit crime to labor in the vineyards, they call it, picking corn and different stuff, beans and stuff like that. In other words, they're going to create a slave-like environment for our youth. They want to invest in the enslavement of our people. This is why it's critical that we understand when people going around saying, don't vote for Kamala, they actually were saying, vote for Trump. Because when you advocate, if you're running for office, and I advocate not to vote for you, and your only opponent is that person on the ballot, y'all the only two, I'm actually indirectly supporting your opposition. That's what happened during the race for president. They told those white women, if you give it to Kamala, you're going to hurt the white man. And also, they put in the minds of white people that we do not need a female black woman in the White House. America should not operate on those type of agendas where women are treated, black women are treated less than a human being. We must respect the black woman. Yes, she could have led this nation. If Trump, crazy as he is, unskilled and crazy and racist as he is, if he can rule and run a country, Kamala Harris can do the same. And she's way more intelligent than him, have more experience than him. But yet, white supremacists, and there were some blacks. There was an organization, that a black power organization right here in America, the biggest one, sent their members out to vote, to say vote no for Kamala. Now, if you get a call from one of them, come call on the air, then they done pulled the cover off their own head. But they was going around fighting against Kamala Harris.
Yes, sir.
That was wrong. I vehemently disagree with you going against a black person for some white person who you know is a white supremacist. It's not right. We must love each other.
All right, good brother.
Oh, one day you're saying pull together. Oh, one day you're saying, oh, now all of a sudden, Jay and Sister Salida, we got to pull together now. Everybody want to pull together now.
Yeah.
No. I'm not uniting with nobody who backed down to Trump. I don't care if you tell me, oh, look, brother, I made a mistake. I don't want to be with you because I don't trust you.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Peace
sir.
and love.
Great. Thank you so much, Reverend Brown.
And you know what?
One of the things I want to do is get some of that opportunity zone money that they go promise. I'm waiting for the zone to come into my opportunity.
We have to, and I was listening to what he was saying about Donald Trump and the racism. We got to quit with this fantasy that America was built on love and God and all this. It wasn't. And we have to look at the bloody, torturous, psychopathic actions that America has taken against its own people. So I want us to come out of that fantasy that America is this great place, because in reality it's not. And we as Black people, we need to understand America for who it is. And not to say that it cannot change.
Right.
But as long as we have mediocre white men who don't have the education, don't have the mindset, don't have the temperament to do the job, but they have the money to make things happen, because we are a capitalist society, then this is what we're going to deal with. The ideal that we had people who voted for Trump, we had our people, we had 17, 18, 20%, maybe, can't remember the number, percent of them voted for Trump. Right now, they still don't think anything's wrong with him. I listen to I'm on TikTok a lot, and I listen to, like, they have chats, live chats going on, and there's good information in these chats. But what I realized, the average Black person, the average, not the ones that are highly educated, but the average Black person is really clueless about our history. Mm-hmm. So they justify them voting for him without even knowing the background. Even the average white person does the same thing. They voted for him because of racism, because they are not familiar with none of his policies. because the young people who are moderating or the host of these chats, they're asking them those questions, and they have no clue on his policies and how they're affecting them at all.
Well,
But they voted for them because they thought it was going to hurt us. Mm-hmm. The whole point is we need to stop them. And let me say something else real quick, Brother Jay, when we talk about our children being locked up in the system. Do you understand that when we think about putting our children in the system at a younger age, what does that do to a family structure? I can stop you from having babies if I got you locked up for the most part of the lives where we start having babies, from the ages of 18, 19, 20 on up. If I can give you a 20-year or 30-year sentence by the time you get out, I'm not saying that you can't have children, but think about how you've stopped a whole generation being born if I lock up all your babies and all your baby boys.
Yeah.
Okay. Think about that. So is it a form also of depopulating? Because we can't have, they can't have relations in prison. So think about that.
One of the things, sister, that we do is when we say people united or come together, and here's how illogical, and you got to wonder. I mean, you stay in this state, and you see the ratings of the state. The statistics are very troubling.
Yeah.
And you ask your question. You want to blame the black populace, or you want to blame the white populace, or want to blame everybody. It's part of the last one, everybody, in the sense that we have people who we elect, and whether you play the election game or the voting game, and you have a lot of black folk, we do criticize voting. True, whether it's not is something end all to be all for us, or whether it's going to affect us, whether it's good or bad. But even if we was to all say, let's play the voting game, let's participate. I have a picture right there of the Louisiana Black Caucus, which, forgive me, I'm going to give the disclaimer. It's off their website. And forgive me if it's an older picture because they don't update their website. That's not my fault. I'm being referenced as far as a part of media. I'm putting the picture up. Might not be the same members. We know the head of the Black Caucus at the time, Mr. Vincent Pierre, he's not there. He's working for the Mayor Blanco now. He's not there anymore. So that's an older picture. But the point is this. The biggest, my opinion, the biggest creators of voter apathy. You hear that word tossed around? Yeah. Sister, you heard it before, and I said it to you 1,000 times. I think I broke your eardrum with it. The biggest creators of voter apathy are the very people up there. If you going to Baton Rouge, people don't want to see that. Oh, well, we just got to play it by ear. We just got to go along with the system. We just got to do what we got to do. We're going to get something for you. People haven't seen anything gotten for them. So people stay home. They don't vote because it's not really doing nothing but enriching some of these people up here. That's how some people look at it. A lot of people look at it. But you can't tell these people that, because the same people, the creators of voter apathy, the picture I got up there, they the one come back to you during the election time. Say, it's a shame you don't vote for me because that's my black district. We need to be representative, be a representative of you people. Well, you people don't see you after y'all get elected. You people don't get informed after you get elected. Take this cycle, Sister Salita. All the cuts that Doge and the Trump administration and even the co-signers of that mentality from the state of Louisiana, that Republican-led state legislative body, they are co-signing to all of that. So, well, these Black Caucus members come and hold a town hall meeting, tell us what to expect. Let us know. We don't want to go on the website and say the website is down. Medicaid, state of Louisiana, Medicare, down. The Social Security office in your neighborhood is closing. Matter of fact, people are upset in Homer where they're closing that office. We don't hear nothing about that. And so I judge them on at least getting information. Even if you're not doing a damn thing, you're not even standing up like Al Green, come and tell us what's going on. No, you know why you're not telling us? Because the lobbyists and the influencers, the Jeff Landrys, the Blake Miguez has your ear as opposed to me having my ear. I become the troublemaker because I'm calling you guys out. Exactly. That's how it turns out. I think we got a caller, and I know I say it a lot, and I'm going to let you have the floor after that. Caller, welcome to Real Talk TV.
Yes,
caller?
Good morning, Sister Salih, and good morning, Brother Jay. Hey,
good morning,
man.
Good morning, good brother.
Always having a good topic, good show. You understand me? But we got to go way back to the Ronald Reagan stage. And when Ronald Reagan was president, he brought drugs to the country of the United States. And what he did, he turned around and signed legislation, war on drugs. The war on drugs was the people that was using the drugs, not the people that was really bringing the drugs into the United States and things like this here. And this is what is going on now. They're going to find every little thing to try to put on black men, black young men, to fill up the prison. Because I seen it happen already. When they ended the Vietnam War, all the blacks that was fighting in the Vietnam War, they came back hooked on drugs, using drugs, and they wound up in prison, and they was the one that was fighting for the country that we love, are supposed to be loving, you see. So, and Jeff Landry is right at the same stage. He wants to build prison, got everybody convinced to build more prison, and he's going to send our young kids to prison for the things that they're doing wrong to make and blame it on our kids.
Exactly.
And that's the way it is, and hey, you guys keep talking, keep bringing in, try to enlighten people on what's really going on, because we all did a good job on these amendments. Now Jeff Landry want to blame the far left.
The far left did that. Whoever the far left is.
That was funny.
Yeah, whoever the far left is, but he forgot. Yeah. The Republican, a lot of them was against it, and a lot of them was for it.
That's right.
But it wasn't enough for them. They had more against that bull crap that they was trying to put on us, So, hey, it failed, and everybody's happy. But you know what? He's gonna be like Trump now. We took his ball. We're playing ball on his court, so he's gonna take his ball and try to go home. But he could take his ball. We'll just get us another one. Thank you guys for all that y'all do. Keep up the good work.
You're welcome.
Thank you, good brother. That's Brother Wilder, Sister Salita. He has a show every Friday from 10 to 12 noon, Community Matters show. So this is what I say. We got a wide circle of people. Yes. Take advantage of community-based media, support community-based media, whether you're in the area of Sister Salita McCall, support her shows. She also does some shows on social media. Support her. She has a website. She's going to give it out. Please support these type of community-based shows.
Thank you. Real quick, the idea, I love what Brother Wallace was saying, and I love what you were saying about the Black Caucus. I had an opportunity to meet I think it was like 4 of them that came to a meeting that our representative, Ed Lavidan, brought to us in Alexandria, and I went to the meeting. And I'm a empathetic person where I can feel people's spirits. I mean, I'm not crazy or anything, but I can feel people's energies. Mm-hmm. And what I felt that their energy is that they're very fake, okay, and they're really not. They're not really about the Black causes, the Black situations that we go through every day here in Louisiana. I think a lot of these organizations like this are not really, it's about being in these positions, about titles and credentials. It's not really about the hard work that goes into fighting for the people. I do understand we have a supermajority Republican sitting in our government right now. But it just doesn't seem like they're there to do the work. I think it's more about being impressed, about being part of the caucus. That's the spirit I got off of them, he's got us here showing us off to them. It wasn't even, it was not about the problems. They said that they had something to do with Medicare or something they were talking about, because it rubbed me the wrong way. And it may be because I was thinking on my activist mindset. And like you said, out there fighting the fight. And I don't see that. Matter of fact, I've never seen that from the Black Caucus, from any time that I've read about them or had any news about them. I didn't see that, and I didn't feel that in their spirit. I think it's more about, and you know how we are as Black people. There's a certain part of us that get impressed with titles and credentials, and there's no work behind it. And little old Pope people like us that get out in the streets and holler and scream and fight for the justice of our race, we're not worthy enough to be in their presence. And I just noticed that about most African American so-called organizations. We're more about titles and cliques. We're not about the work. We're not about getting our feet dirty. We're not about getting, our shoes dirty, our hands dirty. We're not about that grub and grind. We're about that, we're going to placate and just be nice. And we take on this European mindset. So we try to act like them. And to me, I have an issue with that, because then you're not doing the justice of the people when you're in those positions. I understand that, again, that we are minority right now in the state when it comes to those positions, but we still should be the loudest. And I don't see that. I don't see that at all. I watch the guys from Tennessee. I watch the congressmen and the representatives from Tennessee and all over. And these guys are fighting things one-on-one. They're not impressed with all that other stuff. But we're so caught up in titles here that they're not doing the work. The work is not being done. And that's my issue with what I saw with the Black Caucus. I'm not a person, I'm not really impressed by them. And that's just my opinion. It's not like I don't like anybody, but I'm not impressed with the flaunting and the, I'm this and I'm that and I do this. I'm not impressed.
And based on the name, why don't you just rename not the Black Caucus, the Lobbyist Caucus?
Yeah,
the caucus for the lobbyists. The Black Lobbyist Caucus. The state legislative Black Lobbyist Caucus. I mean, you are more impressed with these people who are lobbying for whatever issue it is in. Let me go back there. I think we got a caller right quick.
Yeah, we have a call.
Go to this caller again. Caller, welcome back to Real Talk TV.
Yeah, Brother Jay, I'm sorry, man. I had to call up again. The conversation is just that good, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the conversation is good. What I want to say about the Black Caucus, and y'all was talking about it, is that we have been meeting in the city discussing, trying to get a Jasmine Crockett in the city of New Orleans to represent us, someone of that type of outspoken activism that she have. And most of the people that running for office, I'm not knocking Oliver or Elena Moreno or others. I don't think they speaking the type of language that we need to hear. So Leader McCall is correct. We need to have Black leadership that is strong enough and capable enough to speak for us, speak their mind, and don't fear retribution.
And Brown,
Right now?
Brown, and it's one
Huh?
thing. It's not about to denigrate the Black Caucus. It's about them to motivate people to go out and do action.
Yeah.
They the one who shame us into go voting. They say it's a shame we don't go vote in numbers. They're always saying this. So why not throw it back on them? If you're not doing anything, you're creating voter apathy. And when you have voter apathy, people don't want to give a damn about going to vote for you because you're not doing a damn thing. We got to speak in descriptive terms the same way these other people on the other side of the aisle are speaking. We got to speak the same damn way.
But look, Jay. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Brother Jay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, you correct. All I'm saying is that we are meeting in the city to discuss how can we get some Jasmine Crockett's in our legislature, in our city council, in the mayor's office. We need some people like Jasmine Crockett. I like Maxine Waters. She's an elderly lady now. She's doing the best she can do at 80-something years old, but she's doing a great job. We need Jasmine Crockett. We need some black folks to realize voting for these people, we're wasting our time, Brother Jay. Hate to say it, but the Congressional Black Caucus, all of that, I'm not knocking them. I don't hate them, but they are not doing the work, and we need to get rid of them and put some Jasmine Crockett's in office. They're going to help get us where we need to be. That's all I'm saying. How long?
Go ahead.
Thank
you, Sister
you,
Salita.
Thank you, Jay.
Go ahead, Sister Salita.
Thank you,
No,
Brother
real
Jay.
quick, and that's, Mr. Brown, that is so true. But you know what? There are Jasmine Crockett's out there. There are. You know what it is? We don't want them. You know why we don't want them? Because they don't present themselves in the European way, okay? You got to be able to kiss butt. And let's just break it down, like you said about lobbyists. You got to be able to do that in order to even be part of that, to even be able to open the door. There are a lot of Jasmine Crockett's out there. We just don't want to hear them.
Right.
And they're not polished enough.
Right.
Our Jasmine Crockett's might have some rough edges, so they're not polished enough to be in the forefront. So we're not going to give them that platform. And this is why we always say, this is what I say, we created a platform for you to speak on, to talk about what you need. We've been doing this for a long time. We create the platforms. We can create the platforms for you, or you can create your own platform. There's no excuse for us not having a Jasmine Crockett. There's no excuse for us not having representatives like from Nashville that'll cuss you out on the floor. There's no excuse for that because we have them here. They're just ignored. They're silenced. They're threatened.
Hello, caller.
Okay. And they're put in a corner and say, no, you can't say those things and you can't talk this way or you can't do that. It doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work anymore. And this is why we have to get, just like you said, Brother Jay, we have to get like they get. Because if you notice how disrespectful some of these, well, what we consider disrespectful, these white congressmen and senators and different people talk, your president even talks, very disrespectful, what we would consider disrespectful.
Yeah, in order to reach the people, we got a caller. Caller, welcome back. I'm sorry I inadvertently hit the off button. Welcome, caller. We're trying to get him through. Call back, caller. We're trying to get him back through. But, sister, and the whole thing is for the people, the consumption of people who want to play the voting game, whether it's a game or not to them. They got a lot of people, a lot of our people, a lot of our young people don't want to play that election game, that voting game.
Yeah.
And they got a lot of conscious black folks who don't even want to hear none of that. You know, they want to just reinvent the wheel. Some of them say, let Trump burn down the country, technically, or virtually, or whatever. Him and Elon, let him just tear it up, and that going to unite us as black folks, and we're going to be able to do some things. I don't know about that. Because if my mother won't get her Medicaid or Social Security, I'm worrying about that. And it's hard for us. We would have to start from the beginning somewhere else. I don't know. It's a complicated issue. when you have those arguments right here, you have an argument of conscious black folks, you have overly conscious black folks who take it to another level, you got progressive people, you got mainstream people who just want to get along to go along, and you got sellouts, the worst of the worst. So we have a complicated situation here in America. America built on the capitalist society. You're going to have all them different thought processes going.
Exactly.
Call back, and I'm sorry from the 337-907 number. Call back, and I don't know, it just disconnected.
And that's all. Look, that happens sometimes, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it does.
But yeah, you're right.
Let's see, we got him on. Caller? Welcome, caller.
Brother Jay, I want to say this, Brother Jay.
Good morning, caller. Good morning, Brother Keith. Good to hear from you, brother.
Good morning, Brother Jay.
Along with Sister Selena. You got Sister Selena sitting in?
Good morning, Sister Selena. I want to say this. What Sister Selena is saying, I 100% agree with her. Reverend Brown, I 100% agree with him. We need more Jasmine Crockett. But I also want to add to the conversation, Brother Jay, let's focus away from the elected leaders.
Yeah.
We need to start revamping our organizations and get our organizations, our black organizations, the NAACP, the Black Caucus, the different black organizations back to boots on the ground. We need to get our organizations away from running these candidates in our community, throwing them in our face. Then at the same time, because the leader of our organizations or our organizations bring these candidates in our community, well, we're going to support them. Our organization support it, so we're going to support it. They're going to do good for us. Yeah. And then when they support, when we support them, we put candidates in there. Even some of the candidates we've been on, they look like us.
Yeah.
But when they get in that seat, they vote for the affirmative. You know, and I don't want to call no names on your show because I don't want to. I don't want to do that. But
well, yeah, you know what area of the state you living in? They get mad at you, and when we go to the repast, they don't want to talk to us.
Yeah, they got a few candidates here in the state that a few elected officials that we elected, we put in the seat, black, look like us, but vote with the oppressors, voting for our opposition. So
Keith, Brother Keith, I want to ask you about this. And we talked about it, like you said, without calling any name. But if you're going to work, coming as one of the leaders of the so-called Democratic Party, and you go on to work for one of the top Republican elected officials in the area of Lafayette, that's all in water. I understand you got to eat, like they say, oh, Brother Jim, we got to eat. The whole purpose is your opposition. How can you stand up as a leader in that party against people upholding the opposition of Trump and Jeff Landry? That's all in water. That don't mix. So the only thing I say, you got to be a DEI high. That's going to get me in trouble, I know.
And then, Brother Jay, to add it, make it, to add more fruit to the fire, Jeff Landry's, not Jeff Landry, my bad, not Jeff Landry, Josh Guillory.
Yes.
When his administration came in, that same type of position, an African American male in that position, because that African American male was put in that position from Josh Guillory, he faced many opposition.
Yeah.
But because is a white woman was ran in our community by one of our organizations.
Yeah.
A similar position and filled it with an African American. And we nothing about it. We don't hear nothing about it.
Yeah, it's
Wait,
probably DEI.
and then I'm talking about Lafayette. And outside of the city, I don't see no progress. I don't even see. We don't even see the mayor till it's time for tell Caleb. Well, I got a camera on there.
Lafayette was listed. Lafayette Parish listed as one of the fastest growing and even somewhat similar economic city and parish in the state of Louisiana. They actually gained more population. So I'm saying, where's the economic fallout for the people on the north side and your area that you're talking about? I know where you're going, Brother Keith.
Correct, and then also, Brother Jay, I wanted to I want to point out too, and it's not just one city. It's not just Lafayette. It's the whole state of Louisiana. Yeah. Where are all our the boots on the ground, the leaders?
The lobbyists are the leaders now. The lobbyists are.
Yeah, money speaks volumes in every situation. And we just have some people that, like you said earlier, you made a point, Brother Jay, about working for the same people who are oppressing us. Most of the time, we think on the mindset, okay, I got to feed my family. So I'm not really caring what people are really saying about me working for this person. But because we don't trust ourselves and we say we have somebody that we believe in, we have a belief system, and we don't have faith in that belief system, so we're going to work for whoever's going to pay me. You understand what I'm saying? So your integrity, your loyalty, all of that goes out the door. And a lot of people pick these jobs to work for these type of people on purpose because it's about paying my bills. No matter what nobody say, I got to pay my bills. But if we keep having that type of attitude, then you never be that person that you say you're going to be when it comes to taking care of your people. You're going to forever get criticized. You're going to forever be ostracized because you came in there to do a job, but you chose to work with the people who's hurting us. And I don't get that. I mean, to each his own. I'm not in nobody's pockets, but I look at that differently. I don't see the need for me to work with someone who is hurting me. I don't get that. And who's hurting my people, because that's how I look at it. I don't see the need for it because there's so many other opportunities. And there's so many different people that you can associate yourself with that actually are on the good side of things and do want to see our people grow and progress. There. You just are not looking in the right place because, like you said, if I'm your lobbyist, you're going for where the money is, because a lot of times we do all of this for free. A lot of us, we don't have the opportunity to have someone to support us. We do this because we know there's a need for it. We don't get paid to do these shows. These are our shows. We don't get paid to give out this information. This is information we researched, and we want to be able to share that with other people. So
Brother Keith, I didn't want to, Brother Keith, we have another call. I'm going to try to put you on hold and go to this caller. Caller, welcome to the Real Talk TV. Hello, caller.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Good morning, brother.
Yeah, I'm sitting here watching the show. I had a little bit of time on my hands.
Yes.
I want to say that I love the content.
You sound like the former mayor of Alexandria before the other former mayor of Alexandria.
No, I'm not even. I don't even know where Alexandria is. Is that Louisiana?
Me too. One horse town.
Oh well, okay, yeah. I'm from Alexandria, Virginia.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Look, I want to say thank y'all so much for bringing this information to light. I am completely enamored by this discourse. It's great to hear these conversations being had, especially on the statewide level. I'm in total agreement in what y'all saying about the problem within the Democratic Party of Louisiana, the Black Caucus in particular, is that they don't find favorable positions when it comes time for getting stuff for our communities. So they're up there. What y'all are alluding to is performative politics. just a part of something because it's a part of the performance of politics.
Yeah.
But as far as them actually being effective, maybe not so much. The effectiveness of your representative based on the economics of the area, the economic area for which you're being represented. Like, perfect example, Jay Loon know them. They represent parts of Alexandria. Then we have our black district, District 26, Ed Laverdane, where he has to fight tooth and nail against not only the city, but he also has to fight white Democrats. And he's got to fight the white Republicans as well, whether it's for funding, whatever it is. So black folks, we get the short end of the stick and we always make do with what we got.
Right.
And once we have enough, it always seems like they raise the bar, or they move the goalpost. Once we have enough to come up, they're like, oh, nope, you need a little bit more. Becomes frustrated, and that will make you apathetic.
Well, Carla, let me ask you this question, and I'm glad you bring it up because that's my thought process about when Brother Key was on the phone, he's on the phone, to talk about the Democratic Party, whether or not we as black folks, I'm a registered independent, right? My protest was long since I registered about 9 years ago to be a registered independent. Should the Democratic Party, as it relates to black folk, be raised from the ground up, meaning torn up and start over if some of us going to participate in the party? Or should we just take our ball too and go start our own movement?
Look, what has either side given us? I'm talking about either side.
Yeah.
We've been underrepresented. Mm-hmm. We've been oppressed by the Republicans. We've been underrepresented by the Democrats. And I understand, yeah, you can be an independent, but independent gives you the ability, the autonomy, whatever way benefits your community. And when you start getting people that's not benefiting the community and they benefiting themselves and they buddies with the money become their community instead of the people that they represent. We got a mayor in Alexandria now where he literally told us during the election season, he said, why are you running again? Because he took 4 years off, which he really didn't because we had a black mayor, but that's a whole different story. He said, the business community of Sinlaw asked me to run. Where do you think his allegiance lies when it comes having to do with the people?
Especially when they say that. I heard that before. Yeah. I've heard that before many times.
Their allegiances, they live and they die by the business community. And who controls the business community? Is it black folks? No, not at all. Matter of fact, it'll never, in Alexandria, as far as controlling the business community, economically, it'll never be black folks. Go find you a town with a black sheriff. Find you a parish with a black sheriff. You name me a parish with a black sheriff, and I'll show you progression in Louisiana.
Yeah.
And I know you can't name that many.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm going to ask Siri. Hey, Siri. I can't find it right now. Well, I'm going to ask Siri. Let's turn y'all up.
But yeah, that was some great points that he was making. And you know what, you asked a question, Brother Jay, real quick. You asked the question of, do we need to tear our Democratic Party down and then rebuild it? I think so. Because you know what's so weird? I love hearing Democrats talk, our black Democrats. Because what I realize is they haven't progressed. And that's not all of them. By their speech and by their talk, they haven't progressed since almost, I want to say, Martin Luther King. Mm-hmm. And what we don't realize is from what they were saying, Martin Luther King was, and I don't have the facts, I'm just saying what the words they say. He was a Republican. So if that's true and all the Democrats were following him, I think we should start our own party. I think we should start, but see, if we say we want to start a party, it's about being radical and militant and all that. If that's what it takes to get what the black folks need, let's do that. Let's do that.
You know, I hear what you're saying. You know what would be even better? Historically, did you know the Republican Party was started by black folks?
Yeah. Yep.
Now, wouldn't it be something if we took back over the Republican Party?
Now that would be interesting.
We kicked all them crap. I can't say that on your show.
You can say whatever you want.
Them palm-colored people out of the Republican Party.
Don't give a damn, please.
Yeah, send them to where they really belong. Wherever that is, they don't have no allegiance to America.
Well, those parties transform over the years. It's like switching sides. So the system of what we call capitalism, the democracy in America, Donald Trump is showing us now is basically dead. It's basically DOA because it could be transformed so easily because the mindset of the people, it's like some era of idiocy has taken over. A person who's a racist, corrupt idiot. Remember those three adverbs and descriptive terms I use on these Republicans? He's a celebrity to a lot of people, even some black folk. So this is the mindset of America. No wonder others are looking from outside this country. We got a bunch of idiots and clowns running things.
That's right.
That's
right.
Yep.
That's right. That's right. 100%.
And what they'll do is they'll take somebody that's not even smart, that's our skin color. They'll give us a Red X Washington, and they'll raise him up to the level where he's a representative over a large group of people. And this whole time he hasn't been doing nothing but taking money from the other side. But now all of a sudden he's a representative for everybody. Excuse me.
Yeah. And that's what they do. They groom them. What they do here, this is what we've witnessed living here in the Rapides Parish area. They will take a black person who is clueless, okay, on how to do politics or how to do, and they will groom them and they will put them on a pedestal and they'll put them in front of the people. And when they put them in front of the people, that's to influence the black people, the black vote. And they use the same tactics every time. And because we recognize those tactics, it's a problem. And all we do is educate people on the tactics that they use to try to push this person. Don't throw nobody on us. Let us be the ones to decide what we want. You're not allowed to tell us what we need and what we want. We're the ones who's supposed to be able to do that. But a lot of times in this political realm, they throw us people and say, hey, this is the person you need to vote for. Yes. This is the person we're going to support. So we need you to support them, even though they don't care either way. They just want to keep us distracted.
We allow our opposition to pick our representatives
for us. That's right. That's right. We sure do.
And somebody just said in the chat, they said that it's how many parishes in Louisiana?
64.
Like 50?
64.
Out of all those parishes, there's only one black sheriff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just one.
And he had to fight hard to get that one. He had to fight hard.
They were going to riot. If that, did you see that the sheriff race in that man he lost by whatever he lost by and threw a fit. How could this be? I'll never get this. Is never supposed to happen. How dare y'all let this black man beat me as a Rapides Parish will never have a black sheriff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, one of the things they get us on is divided is culture. I know in this area, however people want to think it's a great area, it's so-called Acadiana, and I spell Acadiana with 3 Ks, me, I always did. This area right here, they get us with culture. They tell us that blacks are Creoles, and then they'll take the Creole word, it's a marketing campaign, and they'll market it to Cajun, and they'll sell products. They'll get us going to the dances and celebrating. But the culture is conservative, and they tell us that these blacks over here are more conservative than others. No, I think we have more people who want to come out and fight against this system of oppression. Because isn't Cajun a DEI word?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, you got to start looking at it in terms of our great brother Tukuna El Shabazz, what he was saying. He probably be calling Cajun a DEI word, and it's not denigrating a whole culture. It's talking about how hypocritical they are when we say black this and black that, and they want to cancel blackness, because I have a graphic say cancel, they can't cancel blackness. You can't. You look up at sky now. You can't cancel the darkness. But they throw the word Cajun around. The brother on the phone. They throw the word Cajun around, and they tell us we have to embrace that culture. We have to put it on everything. So why they not canceling Cajun if they're gonna cancel blackness? You know,
because
and
Cajun,
that's the way I see
Cajun
it.
is unique. It's unique to Louisiana, and as long as you're not saying something black, because see, black black is worn out now. It's not unique anymore. We're not beautiful until we take their label on. When we take their label on, now we the most beautiful, marketable. We got to get this, do this for the Cajun
some Creole blacks
and the Creole. Yeah, I mean, it ain't nothing wrong with knowing who you are. Just don't forget who you are.
Yeah.
Don't forget who you are. Pull you over. You not Creole. You not Cajun. They gonna put you down as a black male. You gonna fit the description. And that's just how they gonna see you. However the law enforcement sees you is how the political structure sees you.
Yep, that's true. Yeah.
You can't separate those two. However the law enforcement sees you is how the political structure sees you. If the law enforcement sees you as a problem, so will the political structure see you as a. If your community is one of them that's heavily policed, then 9 times out of 10, the politicians that represent, or the politicians that are over your part of the city, or the politicians that are over your city, they see you the same way law enforcement see you, as an issue that we have to solve.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Oh, some great insight, brother.
I want to say thank y'all again. I do enjoy y'all conversation. Y'all keep up the black work and don't stop.
I say hello to that mayor who was on the phone before you. Thank you so much, my good brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Hello, caller. Say, caller, you still there?
Yeah.
Go ahead, caller. Our line was lighting it up. And that brother, that good brother right there, we know him. I'm gonna say I know him, and he's a great caller. Always, just much as yourself, brother, on the phone, brother Keith.
Oh yeah, brother Jay. Yes. I was listening to some of the talking about, and I agree. I agree with y'all completely.
Yeah.
Completely. But another thing I wanted to point out about our black. I want to go back to our black organizations. You know,
right.
You got community activists that are feet on the ground. You got some, and I'm gonna say I'm in my 30s, my mid 30s.
Right.
And I know it's not too young, but you got the young generation that get out there, go boots on the ground for protesting against civil rights violations, and you got the older community, the older people the older leaders in the community. They criticize certain things that the younger generation bring out. They criticize it, right. So then lose a young person to the fight, or you lose the young people to the fight, and they go to that mentality. Well, it ain't gonna change. They don't want change, so we gonna go back to the street corners. You know,
go to Apathy, yeah.
Right. Yeah. But what I wanted to bring out is a lot of things that the local news is not bringing out that's going on and happening now with the law enforcement agencies.
Yeah.
And I don't know if
I got Brother Keith, while you at that video that went viral, the one I had a chance to show on Real Talk the Tuesday before last, in Lafayette, dealing with Lafayette City Police. Can you give us a background on it?
From what I can see from the video, the police department made a traffic stop. There was no reason for them to make a traffic stop, but they made a traffic stop in front of the victims' homes, or parents' home. And from the traffic stop, they was handcuffed right away. While handcuffed, one of the victims was tased with a gun. While handcuffed, he complied with their orders, and then the second victim was handcuffed, and when they got into the car, one of the officers started punching him in the stomach. What I want to speak towards the law enforcement agencies, and with how we get up there, day after day, week after week.
Hey.
Yeah, Rab, we got you on hold. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Go ahead, Brother Keith.
Day after day, our young people, African American male, female,
Say, other caller, you have an echo. Can you probably might have to lower your volume a little bit. Okay. I'm just ironing out this. Okay. Don't blame the. I got a hire director and producer. Anybody want a job? They could come in, be a job for Real Talk. We pay in pennies, as opposed to everything else. Go ahead, Brother Keith.
Okay, and towards police brutality, we and we tell the family, we give the families false hope. Oh, we gonna get justice. Ronald Green, Trayvon Pellerin, Victor White III, it's a lot. We say, oh, we gonna get justice. We gonna get justice, and we get nothing. I don't know if as an organization, as a community, I don't know if we brought off or if we just blatantly scared. Because when it's
ready to go off the air, bro.
No, we on till 11:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When we fresh, when it's fresh, when it happened and it's fresh, we all out,
yes,
protesting, telling the family we gonna get justice. Then after a while, we let it die. We leave it alone.
But because we have a whole group of people who have co-opted this whole thing. Whether or not we want to believe Ben Crump is really there for us, or the NAACP, the state NAA, or even some local groups that were advocating for the devils who was harassing us. So you know where I'm gonna go. It takes getting away from these groups. It's taking like Ronald Green's sister and Ronald Green's mother. People like that who are fighting individually, keep on fighting for the fight, even if they didn't get anything. They got a memory of Ronald Green, and they continue to fight long after his death.
And then another thing I want to add, Brother Jake, we get in federal court, file civil suits, and they pay a settlement or pay a payout to the family, and we think that's justice.
Yeah.
That we think them getting money, that's justice. That's not justice.
It's not for everybody else in some cases. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the family might get compensation, but maybe they might be satisfied or not. But in the long end, that continues the tormenting, the murders, and everything else in the community.
Correct.
I think it probably be only for settlement of eye for eye, tooth for tooth type thing. That's the way I want to look at it.
Yeah.
Money is good, but eye for eye, tooth for tooth. The only way we're going to solve if officers don't want to pull the trigger unjustly on you, if he can understand that he might lose his life also. That's what it is for me.
And then another switching gears, Brother Jada.
Well, I think Reverend Brown want to chime in. Let's see what Reverend Brown. You still in line?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm still in line. Okay, so first of all, I want to give out some information because it's important that we understand what's going on here. The brother you had called from Alexandria, wherever he was talking about the sheriff position in the state of Louisiana, actually, we have 3 black sheriffs. We have Susan Hudson, we have Trigg, and we have in St. Helena Parish, we have a black sheriff. So we got 3. Now some blacks don't even know that we have 3
That's
blacks.
still not a lot.
And also,
compared to the population of Louisiana, compared to the population of Louisiana,
Jay,
brother, we need to have much more. Go ahead, my brother. Go ahead.
But listen, Brother Jay, it's very interesting to talk about these issues because a lot of our people don't understand. In many of these areas where there's black sheriffs, Jay, the black population, voter population, is overwhelming. Mm-hmm. You go to these white communities, and you can't get no black folks elected
here's
in
the
a majority white district.
In Shreveport, brother Brown, the sheriff who was a former head of the Louisiana State Police, he had to fight hard for that. And that the dynamics are changing as far as people going out and vote just because you're black, because there's Shreveport Cattle area has a large population of black folk, right? But guess what? Yeah. They elected a white mayor over a so-called progressive mayor, right? And they barely want to elect this sheriff. So it's a two-pronged situation where the Republicans and the conservatives are. I like to say conservative more because all of them are some devils in a sense. They have figured out a way how to play us when it comes to voting, even in the majority black cities. In your home city of New Orleans, they're getting ready to try to run some people other than black because Cantrell has let herself succumb to all of these white races in the state of Louisiana.
Yeah, Jay. So you correct. So in the city of New Orleans, where the population is 67%, okay, we have a chance to elect a black mayor, black city council, but everything is changing because the Republicans and the right-wingers are financing these bourgeois, weak black leaders. They got them running for office, and they know they're not going to represent the interests of black people. So this is what we are facing. And this is the reason why we must become active. I'm going to become active in New Orleans this year to deal with some of these issues that you're talking about. I am coming throughout the state of Louisiana. And y'all, anybody know me, know you can look for Reverend Proud to come out and protest and to speak out.
Yeah, brother.
So
I just don't want you running to any them black for Trump candidates. I don't want you to get in the hassle with because they've been sniping, or maybe they'll slow down a little bit. I love my black for Trump people because they keep me honest.
But black folks are looking at the condition of their community, and they are saying,
okay,
oh well, should I vote for this black person? Our community looks horrible. We got to tell that to the black man and black woman. Our community look like a third world community of Haiti, like Haiti communities are, and we don't have no justice. Now we can't go vote for y'all if y'all ain't gonna deliver the service that we need. Thank you, Brother Jay.
Okay, my brother. Good. I mean, everybody has some different insights. It's almost the same insight in the sense that where do we go from here? And like we started off the show, even I don't know if Brother Keith's still on the line. We started off the show talking about the jails, how they want to build jails. Well, we know Louisiana has always been the prison capital of the world, right? But this stuff right now is more so blatantly in your face. We see our legislative body who come and placate us. Sister Salita, it's almost like they come to keep the slaves in their huts and don't make no noise. I mean, you got all these things happening, Brother Keith, with all these jails and prisons being built, and to say that, yeah, we got all that violence according to statistics, but why is it happening? Why is it happening, black elected leader? Tell me, call up and tell me. Don't be scared and get mad at me at the repass. Come on now. But Keith, go ahead, brother Keith. Go ahead, sister.
But
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Tell him. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I can wait.
Brother Jay, before we go too far, I want to go back to what Reverend Brown was saying about them placing these weak African American candidates or talking about communities that's black. Here in Louisiana, and I think Louisiana is probably the only state besides California, I think. What they doing is, in Louisiana, what they doing is the cities that was ran by the population was mostly white, and the population is turning black. The African American population is outgrowing the white population in the city, but in the whole entire parish, the white population outgrows the black population. What they doing is they combining that city where the population may be 60-70% African American. They combining that city with the parish, so that way, that Caucasian,
the populace.
The Caucasians can still have control of that that city where the black population is growing.
Yeah, I had to reword that. What I meant, not dilute, but actually combine everything together so that if a parish is in the majority outlying areas has more of a Caucasian or a different nationality, that would probably the electorate probably have a more dominant outcome with Caucasians,
And that's correct, because like in Rapides Parish, we have majority, our parish, on the parish-wide state, on the parish-wide populace, there's more whites than it is blacks. Mm-hmm. But in the city of Alexandria, the population is majority black. It's 45 to 30 something. 45 to, I can't remember the numbers, but we have more of us in the in the city of Alexandria than we have whites. But on the bigger platform or on the parish platform is more whites. Because like you said, you bring in all those outlining areas, and they're more populated with more white folks than it is us. So that's the stronghold Rapides Parish has, because of that sort of like the disadvantage in a sense.
And lastly, Brother Keith, we still got a couple of minutes left. It might take up a lot of time, Sister Salida. I want to talk about, because we see what's on the news where these Republicans are holding these town hall meetings. I'm waiting for y'all town hall meeting. I will attend, Sister Salida and Brother Tavares. I will attend to y'all town hall meeting. I want to see if we're going to be able to run some Republicans out of town. But Brother Keith, Clay Higgins, he's our 3rd Congressional District representative. Whether or not I voted for him or not, maybe I might have voted for him when I was drunk and being an idiot. But can he give us a town hall meeting? So anybody know his number who's listening on AOC? Because we know that's one of his favorite stations, because he got the other show with the upside down flag, his people. So if they're watching, tell Clay Higgins to hold a town hall meeting in public. Come to the AOC Center and hold a town hall meeting. Tell us, are we going to get Social Security? Are we going to get Medicaid, Medicare? Are we going to lose education funding, Clay Higgins? Because I know you roll out, you out there some bad, Clay Higgins. You're a bad boy. So I know you wouldn't be afraid of a few Negroes sitting in the meeting, right? So I'm waiting. So Keith, will he hold a town hall meeting?
I don't know. I'm waiting.
Even Keith got silent on me. That's not like Keith.
No, I said I'm waiting to see.
Yeah.
Well, Mayor Blanco with the DEI hire. Can you ask Clay Higgins to come give the people he represents in the 3rd Congressional District update on whether Doge. I don't know why that was a funny word, Doge. I mean, it's almost like dope.
What Doge?
Stooge, Dodge. I mean, I can't even say the word Doge. Will they, since they want to cut everything, will the people in the 3rd Congressional District receive their Medicare help? Will we receive Social Security retirement check, disability check? Clay Higgins, you have to tell us.
But wait a minute, wait.
Go ahead. Go ahead, sister.
Okay, so this is what, I hear you and I know you personally, but are you really, 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 really looking forward to them telling us something about what they're doing? Do you really? Be honest.
No.
Do you know Clay Higgins barely can put a sentence together? And this is what bothers me about America. We went from people that are educated, who can actually talk and get information out, to these bunch of, like, a second grader can out-talk some of these people that we've got in powerful positions. Mm-hmm. These people, and what bothers me too is these people are businessmen. So I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, the people who voted for them.
I would be, and look, I would be like, how do they have their business meetings? Because I am very curious about how they talk.
I can tell you how. I can tell you how. They say, well, we're reading the meetings and we're going to elect the village idiot as our security. That's how it goes, I guess, in South Louisiana.
Oh, my God. It is so embarrassing. I don't know how anybody else feels, but it's embarrassing that we have these people literally running our country. And it's like, I think, too, I'm hoping now people are starting to come off the shock, because I think people were shocked with what we're dealing with. And I think people are just slowly but surely paying attention, because we noticed that they're slowly but surely coming off the shock syndrome, because of the idea of how we voted in Louisiana for this, with these 4 amendments. So people are slowly kind of rolling back and say, okay, we do. And it makes people feel like they don't have the power to fight. You have the power to fight. You can fight anything you want. You'll argue with me. You will threaten to kill me.
Yeah.
But they have more power over your life than I could ever do.
It's something in the water.
Pay you.
It's something in the water. I mean,
it's in the water. Exactly. So you don't have time. You go off on me. You'll tell I'm wrong. You'll cuss me out. But you allow them to literally control everything that you do. And then you get upset with us because we're saying you don't have to do that.
When we embrace a wannabe supervillain like Elon Musk, a wannabe supervillain, right, aka Dr. Evil, Alter Ego, or whatever. When we embrace people like him, when they had a lot of black folk was embracing him too. Now think about it. He want to build a rocket ship to go to Mars, right? But while he's stealing your money in the Social Security and he's getting all your personal information, he want to send your he want to send your ass to Mars to pick cotton. I want to tell that to Brother Tabari. He want to send your ass straight to Mars so you could pick cotton on Mars. I mean, that's the only end game I see with Elon Musk.
Look another. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
Brother Keith.
I would like to ask Clay Higgins this. Who's calling the shots? Is it Donald Trump or is it Elon Musk?
He ain't gonna tell the truth.
Who's calling the shots?
Clay Higgins wouldn't know anything.
He ain't gonna tell the truth. We know who calling the shot. Just like with Tesla, you guys. Okay, I love cars.
Be careful what you said. You better tread lightly, sister.
Well, whatever. I would have never. But
you better tread lightly.
Listen.
Yes, go ahead.
So I love cars, but Tesla would have never been a car I would have bought. Now, I watched our black folks, and I'm talking to you black folks. Listen to what I'm saying, and you can get offended by what I'm saying. Anything shiny and new, we go out and we put our money in, no matter what it is. We are the highest consumer. We are the most consumed. How do you say that word? I'm sorry, I'm saying it wrong. But we spend more money on things, gadgets, and anything that glitters and shines in our faces. There's no way I would have spent that money on a Tesla. Okay. There's no way, but we went out and we bought them. In Texas, when that grid went down, those people were locked in their cars. They couldn't get in their cars. Their cars was going against them. All of this stuff was happening. They couldn't put no electricity to it because the grid was down. All of these things took place, and you guys went out and spent your money on them, and you're not even getting back what you put in them because they're worthless now to this point. I would have never done that. They're not cars I would have bought, but because it said Tesla, which like we do with Mercedes-Benz and all those other cars, we're so caught up on being materialistic. Let me put it to you like that. That we don't see the value in ourselves. So we have to find value in things and objects and stuff because we don't value ourselves. And we think that is a status symbol. Okay. But he was part of, if we did our study and if we did our history about Elon Musk, we would know he was part of the apartheid. He grew up in apartheid.
And he's not that smart like the Republicans going around saying he's intelligent.
That's what they
he made some smart investments, and after that, most of the stuff that was invented or started were by other people. People need to know that.
Exactly. So when we think about that, don't always be jumping to the newfangled thing that comes out.
Want to go to Mars? You know how everybody out there getting a BBW or BW, whatever. I want to go out there and get a brain implant from Elon Musk. I mean, they're going to have fools opting for that because it's supposedly in the name of science help you overcome some type of issue you might have with your body. So,
I wouldn't trust
what you can see with the BBLs out there, getting messed up and all that stuff, you're going to see the same stuff with a lot of fools walking around here with chips implanted in their head. And I'm a science guy. I'm the biggest science guy you could say. I embrace science, but not that kind of science. Mad science and super villain type stuff from Elon Musk.
So what my question is, Brother Jay, when is they leaving to go to Mars? When are they leaving?
Well, he said he want to do that in the next 20 years. Sooner than that. I mean, it would be too soon for him to get on the rocket ship. You notice he hasn't rode, Brother Keith, he hadn't rode on any one of the rockets yet?
No, not yet. No.
I mean, you had the guy from, I think
Steve
Bezos, which, I mean, he needs to go again because I'm disappointed in with the Washington Post. But notice, and the other guy from Virgin Investments had the airline Virgin. He rode on his ship. You haven't yet to see Elon Musk. Somebody should be calling him out. Why don't you get on your own rocket? You could explode over Jamaica or something like that. Sister, we like Jamaica, you and I, sister.
But Brother Jay, I want to come back to
go ahead, Brother Keith.
Every chance Landry get, he's got to show why he part of the MAGA. He refused to accept the votes from the amendment. So he said, well, since you want to vote the amendments down, I'm gonna propose that the state cut such and such in budget. We're gonna make you suffer. Then we're gonna put it back on we're gonna put these amendments back on the ballot to get them passed.
Matter of fact, in the Louisiana Illuminator, a great source of progressive news and truthful information, from what I gather, it has the headline: Louisiana lawmakers might revise rejected constitutional amendment on taxes. They already have a game plan. They're going to bring it back up, but they're going to revise it, but it's still going to be the same thing. Their game plan,
Uh-huh.
Oh, my God. That is crazy. Any way they can to keep on pushing it. So it's something behind that, y'all.
Yeah.
Whenever they keep doing it and they keep pushing it, it's something behind that. That's really detrimental. And it's something that he needed to pass in order to do something else. Okay.
Yes.
And it's crazy. Now, speaking of him and all these different laws that they're talking about, our district attorney, which is Philip Terrell, okay, used to be the city judge of Pineville at one time. He is definitely supporting this man 100%. Now, you're in a majority black city, right? Okay. And the majority of people who voted for Philip Terrell, if I'm not mistaken, was us. Mm-hmm. But this man is 100% holding hands with Landry.
So Philip Terrell, he's black?
No, he's white.
He's white. Okay. He's
white. And he's our district attorney.
Okay.
And every time you turn around, he's right, almost holding hands with Landry. Every time you turn around, the first time when Landry signed that law into action about the juvenile, he was right there.
Wow. So somebody gonna benefit.
Now we know they got 2 African American representatives that's behind him 100%. Every vote he needs
from the Lafayette area,
pass certain things. Lafayette,
Acadiana area. What do you call that? The so-called Acadiana area. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, Acadiana area. Yeah, everything he needs. Every Democratic vote he needs to pass something, they give it to him. Every time it's a tiebreaker, those 2 representatives give him the Democratic vote he needs to pass.
Yeah.
And that's why you got to stop putting them in office. That's why you got to stop putting those people in office. You're giving them that platform to do what they're doing. Philip Terrell, I think he comes up in 2026. Mm-hmm. I promise you, he's not going to get the vote he needs to stay in that position as the district attorney, because it's time for him to go. And we're going to push that he gets out of there, because he showed his allegiance. It's not to the people of our area. His allegiance is to Jeff Landry. And I have an issue with that. Not just me, it's other people, but I have a personal issue with that, with him ignoring the people who put you in office, and you prefer to run behind this Project 2025 protege, whatever you want to call it.
And Sister Salito, when one of those African American representatives was running, I pleaded, I begged our people to vote in the affirmative, because I knew this was going to happen. The leaders, the community leaders of our black organizations, the community leaders, prominent community leaders, got up, criticized me, downplayed me, till he got in that position, and his record shows every vote Jeff Landry needed from the Democrats to pass, he gave him the vote.
Yeah.
He gave him the vote.
His name was on it. Yeah. And see, that's why we as people, we have to know how to vet our candidates. And we've been that's been a big thing for us here, is that we try to give them the information to make a decision on who they want to stand behind. We got fooled when we put Jeff Hall in office, which was our first African-American mayor ever in the city of Alexandria, ever in history. And we got fooled by him real good. He did a doggone good job in getting us. And we said it will never happen again, because now we educate our people on how to vet your candidate, how to watch how they vote, watch who they hang around, watch who you see them take pictures with. They're not just photo ops, you guys. Everything is not just a photo op. Please believe me, it's not. A lot of it has a lot to do with your association with them. What can you give me? Because we know a lot of backdoor deals are done in Louisiana. We know that. I'll do this for you if you do this for me. So you get all of that. We have RPEC, which is the Republican Party Executive Committee, that funds the DPEC, the Democratic Party Executive Committee. Okay, this is what I'm saying. So you can't say that you're 2 different parties when you guys are supporting each other. And you guys they don't really endorse the type of candidates that the people want.
Right.
And I know they have to take a vote, and the vote that they come up with is what they endorse. But it doesn't mean it's the benefiting of the people. You gotta, we gotta get, we don't understand. I guess maybe we are too passionate. We're too about grassroots. We're too about the people that we don't see it's a bigger picture. The bigger picture is when you're on a political platform, you got to have money behind you. Okay, you got to have that money, and maybe it doesn't bother you where your money comes from, but it's very important that you should, because that's where your loyalty lies. Like the caller said earlier, Jacques Roy got up there and he said, Jacques Roy is the mayor of Alexandria. He said that the business community told me to run again. So where is his loyalty to? His loyalty is to the business community, because those are the ones who funded him. They don't give just to give. They give for favors. Okay.
And the whole notion, Brother Keaton, Brother Sister Salih, business is the end all be all for communities, especially communities of colors. Not exactly truthful. I mean, I know Jeff Landry announced a building of a Hyundai plant, a steel mill, they're going to build and make steel. And that's on, I think, one of the river parishes. And how much of that plant going to cause pollution already in Cancer Alley, if it's in Cancer Alley? I'm not exactly sure. They're great. They do these big old ribbon cutting, these big old well-to-do publicized events, but yet Louisiana is still almost basically last in every conceivable statistical category. How many times I have to say it, and Sister Salida and Keith said, if people who listening, why are we so last all the time? Because Jeff Landry and those going to give to those companies, going to give them. They're going to be enriched by that, and we going to be suffer because Jeff Landry going to push laws with his MAGA legislation and the Uncle Toms that's already in the Louisiana legislative body, and that going to hurt us. And just a few people going to benefit instead of the communities.
And you know what? Now that you said that, Brother Jay, that was one of the questions that I asked the Black Caucus. I asked him, I said, when you look at all the different categories that we become last in, can you tell me what you guys are trying to attempt to do to get us out of those low numbers or those high numbers of being last on the? He gave me some kind of answer, and I was just like, I was not pleased with the answer. He did not, I mean, I don't know. It just, like I said, my energy with the Black Caucus is, it just doesn't, it's a lot of facade. And it doesn't, and I don't see, like you said, it needs to be revamped, and it needs people who have voices. The people who got voices are the ones who are always silenced. We need the ones who's going to play along. You have to, what they say, get along. You have to play along, get along, whatever. Get along. So that's what we, exactly.
Yeah, get along.
Go along and get along.
Yeah. So those are the people that we keep putting in the forefront. Those are the kind of people that we keep pushing and putting on pedestals and say, this is for you, here. This is the person we want for you. And we don't have anybody who's radical. We don't have a Jasmine Crockett. We don't have those type of people that come forward and speak the truth. And intelligently does it using regular words. She's not using no big fancy words, but she's using common words that everybody can understand. And they seem to have a problem with that. We need more people like her. We really do.
Yeah.
Sister Salida, we do have those people, but our people is so enthused to following a certain following to where those leaders won't let those people get the platform. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. They won't let them in the forefront. They won't let them get the mic. They won't let them on that platform. But okay, so since you say it like that, create your own platform. Get the people who are going to listen to you. That's what you have to create your own platform. And that's why we do what we do. Brother Jay does what he does. I do what I do. Everybody does what we do because we know nobody's going to give us that sounding board. We have to have our own sounding board, and it's a grassroots sounding board. And I can say this: we have been on our show, Can We Be Frank show, has been on Facebook for 9 years now. 9 years we've been doing this. So we created our own. Matter of fact, Brother Jay came up with the name of our Facebook page, which is Universal Collective Network. So we have been doing this for 9 years. And that might not be a lot for other people, but that's us. That's a lot for us. Because if anybody knows the opposition we get when we start talking these type of conversations and discussions and teaching people stuff, everybody don't want to hear this.
And you got to plant the seed of escaping from the plantation.
That's right.
Plantation mindset. Yeah, that's just planting the seed.
Yeah, I know you got about 5
minutes. Yeah, we got about I think 2.5 minutes because I think we go off at 11:26 Central Standard Time. But I want to say, Brother Keith, thank you so much. I wish you come back on the set. We miss you on the Community Matters. Yeah. We miss you on Real Talk. We miss you everywhere. And we're trying to get that mayor who spoke earlier on the phone. We're trying to get him down here. That's an inside joke, Brother Keith. Inside joke.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we want to thank you, Brother Keith. And I'm going to call you after the show.
Okay, Brother Jay.
All right. Thank you. And
thank you.
My good sister, I appreciate you. It's been very thought-provoking. I know we said a long time on the air, ranting and raving. Yeah. That's me. You know, I'm a ranter and I'm a raver. So whatever the hell that means. But I really appreciate you coming on this show today. And I really believe this. Stay woke. I'm not going to let those racist, corrupt idiots tell me that woke is a bad word and 20 to other things that they want to try to get us mad at each other. My wokeness is black folk wokeness. And that's simple bottom line. So black folks, stay woke. Stop watching the upside down flag on the mother shows and stay woke.
Exactly. I want to thank you so much for this opportunity, AOC. Thank you. Thank you for all the callers that called in. It was so refreshing to talk to you guys. Again, we're on Facebook, Universal Collective Network. You can go back and watch some of our videos before Facebook take them down, of all the different conversations and discussions and subject matters that we have been able to get to you guys, the information we share. Our whole crew, I love everybody on our crew because I don't do this alone. I have a team of people that we all work with, and we all have great information. We share it, and you need it, sort of like a think tank, and we need that. We have Mr. Porter, which was a former councilman that has, wonderful guy, great information that helps us do this. We don't do this alone. And to get this information out, we have made roads. We have done we have accomplishments up under our belt from just getting the word out to the people. We have done that. So don't say you can't do it no matter where you live at. Do not think that your voice is not heard. The mayor, when I say Mayor Jock Roy knows me. Okay, that's how we have been hellraisers in this area when it comes to black folks. They know us, okay? If they see one of us coming in that city council meeting, they think something's going to go down because we know what they're doing. And we have been very, very vocal of how they treat our black people, our black citizens, our black taxpayers. When it comes to utilities, when it comes to housing, when it comes to safety, we beg for them to put up cameras. We've been begging for them to put up cameras. For some reason, they won't put up the cameras in the areas where high crime, because crime pays.
Yes.
Keep it in mind. Crime pays. So why put the cameras up in the places where we can get, because we might catch some of your officers doing something. That might be a possibility, right? Yes. So, yeah, we are very vocal in our area. Do not believe that you cannot do what we do. You can do it. You can have your own platform. Okay. And right now, podcast and the media, being on social media is the thing. Get off of there watching them fights and get out there and do the work.
Yes.
All right. But thank you guys for letting us. Thank you for letting us.
Love you, sister. Thank you. Bye-bye.
And join us and check us out on Empower Her every Thursday at 7 p.m. on AOC and Facebook, Universe Collective Network. Can We Be Frank Show? Our videos are on there. Thank you guys so much. And thank you again, Brother Jay. And have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.